our 30% off scratch and knit sale is live right now, where we have all these hides and all these parts that have little flaws in them that we can't sell at full price. So instead of just throwing them away, we save them for a scratch and dent sale where we discount them 30%. They're just little cosmetic flaws, and so it's still covered by our lifetime warranty, but you get them a lot cheaper, so check them out below. So we're gonna do an unboxing, kind of unboxing slash overview of this little series we're about to start that is about your average hiking boot, kind of your foam-based hiking boot. If you were to go out and you didn't have a ton of experience with hiking and you didn't know everything about the hiking world and the traditional boot world and maybe some of these really high-end boots like Scarpa, I can't remember any of their names. Oh my gosh, what are they called? Crispies, Scarpa, Crispy. What's that one called? I can't remember. Zamberlan, all these like really high-end like mountaineering style boots. Not everyone needs those. Not everyone wants a super high quality $600 like heritage boot. And so a lot of people end up buying these kind of boots are around $150 to $250 boots. You know, there are a lot of foam in them, a lot of synthetics. And people like this kind of boot because they're light, they're affordable, they're easy to hike in, there's hardly any break-in. But it's right in that zone where there's a lot of BS hiding inside of their products and a lot of marketing jargon. And so I think this will be a really valuable series, especially for the spring, because a lot of people are gonna be on the search for a nice summer hiking boot, a little spring hiking boot. I chose a wide variety so that we can really start rounding off the understanding of the hiking boot world and what technologies work in which ways and why you might want one thing over another. And I think it'd just be a really good way to show basically the top 5 hiking boots that are affordable, top 5 modern hiking boots, affordable hiking boots, whatever you want to call it. We haven't figured out exactly what this series is called, but that's kind of the premise of it. And what we're going to be doing over the next 5 weeks is cutting each one of these apart. And fortunately, I planned this whole series last year because I wanted to actually do some research. And I didn't want to just, because the one flaw with this channel is I just don't have as much time to wear every single boot for an extended period of time. It's just impossible. We cut apart 2 to 3 footwear a week, and that leaves 2.5 days-ish to wear each thing. And that's not including collaborations and personal things I want to wear and just, wearing shoes normally. What I did over the last few hunting seasons, this spring, actually it's probably been like spring, fall, spring, I think is what I've worn these in. And I haven't worn them a ton, just enough to get some initial impressions and how they work and how they feel. And so this isn't a true unboxing. It's the first time you guys are seeing unboxed, but I've worn these. But I wanted to show you all of them. I was on some other thought pattern. I don't remember what I was gonna tell you about. I was talking about how, I just don't get a ton of time to wear stuff. And so with this series, I really wanted to gather and glean as much information as I could from actually wearing these before we cut them in half, because I wanted to start informing myself on the hiking boot world, what works, why it doesn't work, and be able just to start looking beyond the actual material science and start looking at how the material science affects the functionality in the more subjective things rather than the objective things. This is an ad I'm actually very excited to try out and to show you guys because I love smells. I love Scentbird. I'm always talking about the different fragrances up in your smell game. There's one part of my personal smell game that is just bad. It's the Honda Fit. My Honda Fit smells terrible, and anytime I bring someone in, I can tell they can smell how bad it is. This is what this product solves. This is a really unique car freshener. It's not those little trees that you hang from your mirror that stink, actually smell terrible. This is, I'll pull it out in front of you, a little piece of wood that has teak and the fragrance infused into it. Ooh, it actually smells very good. And you clip it to this metal clip. This metal clip goes on your visor, and so as you're in your car, this smell naturally permeates from this piece of wood. And I just like the fact that it's from essential oils and natural fragrances, and it's a piece of wood with a magnet on it clipped to another piece of metal. It's about as natural as it comes. They range from anywhere from $9 to $15. And the nice thing is it's a subscription base. So when you first receive the starter kit, you get this clip, you get the scent, and then you just get a new little clip-on smell thing every month. And they last about 30 days, so you don't have to think about it. A new one comes 30 days later, just clip it on, and you're back to smelling good. You can change your scent choice, your delivery frequency, and you can cancel your subscription at any time. And I got this teak, and it smells so freaking good. I'm actually very excited to have this in my car. So be sure to check these out via link in my description or go to drift.co and use that code RoseAnvil2 for 55% off. And thanks again to Drift for sponsoring this video. That's the idea. So let's start with The Adidas. So what is this boot? This is the Free Hiker XPL GTX Parley. Got it at 10.5. They weigh 1 pound, 1 ounce, so actually really light. They retail for $250. They're made in China. The way that Adidas positions this boot is the Free Hiker Exploric Gore-Tex shoe are the ultimate footwear for any true outdoors advocate. The new Gore-Tex laminate includes an innovative EPE membrane which combines waterproofing and breathability with responsible material choice, featuring our Boost midsole for long Boost midsole. Shout out to Adidas for putting in a hiking boot. That's actually what intrigued me the most about this, is if that Boost technology and the alleged comfort and that legendary Boost material can actually be put into a hiking boot. For long-lasting cushioning, energy return, and high adaptability fused with the Continental rubber outsole for an extraordinary traction in wet and dry conditions. Good Lord, this is marketed up. From problem to performance, our canvas upper is made in part with Parley Ocean plastics, containing at least 50% Parley Ocean plastic and 50% recycled polyester. From exploring downtown to a walk in the park, these everyday shoes are ready for your daily adventures. Eesh, that was quite the description. Lots of trying to convince you that they're not a giant corporation that just pollutes the ocean as much as they're pulling out of the ocean. And like, yeah, all this stuff's so funny. Innovative, membrane, combined, waterproof. You know, just all these buzzwords. Gotta love it. So let's check it out. A little unboxing. Oh, these have been worn. Blew out the back side of the box. Nice box design, Adidas. Okay, whatever. My cousin's named Parley. Shout out to Parley. Has a sick Can-Am side by side, side to side. Check this out. I like the look of this boot. You know, and I'll save all the in-depth initial impression stuff for the actual video, but right off the bat, they're pretty comfortable. That Boost technology does seem to add a lot of comfort and squish to these boots. And out of the bunch, I think they're the best looking out of all of them. Obviously for hunting, then lime green and bright orange is maybe not your best choice. At least it is kind of huntery orange. But yeah, that's the first one. I'm not gonna give all this stuff away because it's gonna be a 50-minute video if I go too long into each one. Next we have, what is next? Under Armour's. It's next on my list. So the brand is Under Armour. The style is the UA Hover Dawn Waterproof 2.0 boots. Weigh 1 pound, 3 ounces. Retail for $190. Made in Vietnam. And the way that Under Armour positions this is, in order to make the perfect backcountry hunting boots, we took our lightest, most durable materials and added in the energy return of UA Hover cushioning from our best running shoes. It's comfort you can take off trail. So similar thing, you know, it's these sneaker companies or these shoe companies that are infusing some of their technology into their boots, which I find quite interesting. So, a little unboxing of some dirty boots. Beautiful. So very similar vibes to the Adidas, right? Yeah, I took all these on a few bear hunts and a few deer hunts. Bear hunts up in the top part of Idaho and central Utah, deer hunts. So they definitely got some use. So similar idea, you know, it's a very thin rubber outsole, lots of cushioning through the midsole, a synthetic upper that's supposed to be lightweight, breathable, all these things. My initial impression of them, and my brother's impression of them, because he bought these for the hunts as well, not all of them, just this particular one, we did not like it. It's just very flat. It kind of bottoms out, and it just doesn't feel like there's a ton of cushioning in the heel, but it just kind of feels like you're walking in a boat. I did not like these boots right off the bat. And they're kind of ugly too. I think that's all you need to know. That's the next contender. We'll go over a few more details near the end of the video. Next up is something I was really excited to try, which is a company that was based, I think started in Logan, or they're based in Logan, Utah. When I was at college, a lot of my friends worked for Altra, testing their shoes and walking on treadmills for like 6 hours a day, testing their stuff. And I met the owner, or one of the co-owners or something, when I was a business consultant at the USU Entrepreneurship Center. And so I'm a little bit biased towards this brand, being a Utah brand, meeting one of the owners and having lots of friends, including my little brother working at Altra. So let's see what we got. Look at these? Another bright orange lace setup. So what are these? Well, these are, well, the brand is Altra. The style is the Olympus 5 Hike Mid GTX. They weigh 1 pound, 1.8 ounces. So pretty standard thing here with all these different boots. They're pretty light. They barely weigh over a pound each. These retail for $220. They're also made in Vietnam, and the way they position this is hit the trails all day in this lightweight waterproof hiker designed for high cushion comfort and traction on technical terrain. What's it feel like to hike all day on supportive waterproof pillows? Find out with the Olympus 5 Hike Mid GTX. Move the way you were designed to with our roomiest toe box with plenty of room for your toes to move freely, space through the midfoot, and zero drop. A mid-cut design gives your ankles added support to climb, descend, and keep crushing. Keep crushing. Initial impression of this one, it is comfortable. You know, same kind of concept as these previous boots. Lots of squish underneath, very thin outsole. And this thing is roomy, lots of toe box room. And that's what I was really interested to try this one out, because most traditional hiking boots are really narrow. You know, we looked at the Danner Mountain series. All those things are super narrow. This is like twice the width of any of those Danners. Not literally, figuratively. And so I was really interested to try this one, and I liked it a lot. There's some things though that we'll go over in the main cut and a half that I didn't like, and some that really helped me understand the toe box shape and why certain things are good for other things. Because in my opinion, the wide toe box isn't the end all be all. It's not the perfect shape for all shoes in all situations. And we'll go over that in the cut in half, so where I have more time to explain it and more of a voice. So next contender, the North Face. Well, the brand is the North Face. The style is the Vectic Fast Pack Insulated Future Light Boots. Come on, guys. Can we just shorten the name slightly? There's like 5 words per name. These also weigh 1 pound, 1 ounces. They retail for $190, made in Vietnam as well. And the way that the North Face positions this product is durable, insulated, and feature-rich. The men's Vective Fast Pack Insulated Future Light Boots featured our breathable, waterproof Future Light and propulsive Vective technology designed to take on almost any cold weather activity. These rugged boots will help keep your adventures going all year. Let's see what we got. Whoa, these ones are brand new. What the heck? I thought you said you wore all these. These ones are too small. North Face. They're 10.5 too. These do not fit me. I've taken them on a couple trail hikes just to get the feel of this like rocker style, but already off to a terrible start with the North Face with their sizing. I don't mind the North Face. I think they are one of these brands that really lean into their eco-friendly marketing and their initiatives. And you know, it's debatable how much impact that actually has and how much of it's just marketing, in my opinion. I still think they do good for the world. It's just kind of typical corporate BS through some of it. Initial impressions, they're too small, but you know, I did find the rocking thing interesting, and we'll kind of go over that as well in the main video. I think there's some pros and cons to it, and but overall, you know, there's only so much I can say because they didn't fit. 10.5 fits like a 9.5 for North Face, and that's it. See, I'm already going for 15 minutes. I'm trying to keep it brief. What am I doing? And finally, the Hokas. The Hoka Ona One, or whatever they call them. Did they change their name? I think it used to be like, maybe that was just one of those shoes we cut apart. But the brand is Hoka. The style is the Kaha 2 GTX. Kaha. They are the heaviest at 1 pound, 3.8 ounces. They are up there with the most priciest at $240. They're also made in Vietnam, which is kind of crazy. I think only one was made in China. Yeah, it was Adidas. Surprise. How does Hoka position this? With a remarkable weight to cushion ratio. That's a new term I've never heard. The Kaha 2 GTX delivers peak performance with peak plushness. Updated with the Hubble heel with swallowtail geometry, this durable hiker features Vibram's Mega Grip with the traction lug for increased ground contact. Consciously crafted, this trailblazing silhouette employs Gore-Tex footwear fabric with recyclable textile. I love the marketing jargon. I talk shit on it, but I think it is really fun. I love marketing. I love product positioning, so I get a kick out of it. You know, like the weight to cushioning ratio, peak performance, peak plushiness, swallowtail geometry. It's so funny. I get it though. It's fun. It's fun to market your stuff and like come up with cool taglines and stuff. Sometimes it's just a little much when it's like a cheap hiking boot, you know. Well, we got another dirty boot. Look at these. So these, I really like these. These were really squishy underfoot. Like they said, a great weight to cushion ratio. But they're really low. They're probably the lowest gusseted out of the bunch. And I kept having water get into them. But I really like these cutouts. There's a lot I liked about it. And I didn't really even get hung up that much on the heel. But there are some things that we'll talk about in the cut in half that you'll need to consider for this kind of boot. And so that's kind of the lineup of them. Some other things to kind of consider is the price high to low, just to give you the groundwork for the whole series. The most expensive is the Adidas, then the Hokas. I guess I'll give you the price range. The Adidas at $250, Hoka's at $240, the Altra's at $220, the North Face at $195, and the Under Armour's at $190. And then for the country of origin, they're all Vietnam except for Adidas was China. And then as for the waterproofing, the Adidas, the Hokas, and the Altras had Gore-Tex lining. The North Face had their own Future Light membrane. Under Armour had their own unspecified waterproof membrane. If I were to guess, before my voice gives out, which ones do I think are gonna end up being the best boots to the worst boots? North Face already on the bottom for me. I think Under Armour is probably gonna be next. And then, because I've as much as these are beat up, I haven't hiked them that much and I haven't really looked too much into the materials. So I'm gonna say, do I go Hoka #1? I think this is the order this is my guess, my educated guess on how I would personally rank these from best to worst in this affordable category. So we'll see how it actually turns out. That's my guess. So let me know what you guys want us to cover in this series. What specific things you think are important for us to cover so that you guys can have as much information to be an informed consumer, so that you can cut through all that marketing BS and just see exactly what these products are. And let me know what tests you want us to do. And let me know what you want to call this series, because I don't know exactly if it's just like a modern hiking boot or like a foam hiker. And also let me know what other series you want us to do. We got some fun series planned. Like I said in the last video, Q1's kind of our off season for the YouTube channel because everything's just kind of lower, views are lower, ad revenue's lower. So it's a good opportunity to rebuild for the business and the channel and everything that we do. And so now we're dipping back into the really fun stuff, all the really interesting videos and series. So let me know what you want us to cover this year, because that's how we do things. So thank you guys. See ya. And thanks to Drift for sponsoring this video. Don't forget to check out the links below.